pounds. Did you even know SKIL made a 12-volt cordless ratchet? Yes, neither. Let's check it out. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. This is the SKIL 12-volt cordless brushless ratchet. Now it's model number RW5763A, and it comes with a 2 amp hour 12-volt battery as well as a charger, and you can get it for a really good deal. Also comes with a 5-year warranty. Now here's some of the claims on this wrench. 55 foot-pounds of torque from the actual brushless motor, but more importantly, or I guess I should say rather than importantly, more interesting to us is the fact they claim 150 foot-pounds of manual force is what you can put as far as input on adding additional tightening force to this or even breaking something free. We haven't seen any other claims from any of the other manufacturers that high on these cordless ratchets. In fact, many of them even steer away from even printing anything like that. But we all know as mechanics, as DIYers, or whatever we're using these cordless ratchets for, we always need that little bit of extra oomph to break something free, or maybe even that little bit of extra oomph to finish tightening something. And everybody wants to know, can I use this for that? Or do I have to get another ratchet or another extended handle or a torque wrench or what have you to add that additional force on? And as I mentioned, they're claiming up to 150 foot-pounds that you can provide of manual force to this. We're going to test that out. We will also test some other things as well. So stick around. We'll dive into the details as far as the specs as well as the features, and then we'll go over to our test bench and actually test those things out. Then as always, we'll come back, talk price, warranty, and what we think of the tool. SKIL released a new 3/8 drive cordless ratchet, specifically on their 12-volt platform, so their PWRCORE 12 platform. This particular model actually comes with a 2 amp hour battery and the charger as well. Now it's considered their power jump charger, so a couple of things on this. Number one, you'll see a USB port here right on the charger, so you can charge any of your smart devices, smartphones, tablets, you name it. Also, some of their batteries also come with a port built right into the battery as well. So from a USB port on the battery, you can actually charge a device also. You also have an indicator there that tells you how much charge is left on the battery. So again, their 12-volt platform, and again, that's a 2 amp hour battery that is kitted with this ratchet. Now, the actual model number is the RW5763A. And as I mentioned, it is a 3/8 drive, although it also comes with an adapter for a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter, but just a standard, 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter you'd find in a socket set and so forth. Directional lever is right there on the head of the ratchet, much like your old conventional style ratchets would be and your pneumatic ratchets. In fact, the head looks a lot like your pneumatic ratchets also. So nothing real specific about the head of the ratchet. It does withstand up to 150 foot-pounds of manual force is what SKIL claims. So even though it's only rated at 55 foot-pounds of power driven by the brushless motor, you can put up to 150 foot-pounds of force and still remain within their warranty, if you will. By the way, their warranty is 5 years on this. So brushless motor, again, 55 foot-pounds of force. You get an LED light right here that shines down on the fastener. You also get a variable speed trigger here, much like a paddle style trigger, just really a plunger right there, but it is a paddle style where you can reach this with about any of the fingers on your hand or one finger, what have you. It's a long paddle that you can reach. And by the way, it's a metal paddle as well. So as I depress this, I can make this pretty slow and all the way up to the max of 220 RPMs. Now under load, we'll find out in a moment if it keeps that speed up or not, or if it slows down. Decent rubber overmolding here along the back as well as on the handle. So easy to grasp, easy to hold. Seems like it will do very well even in little slicker situations. Not really a long extended style head there, even though the unit is pretty long. In fact, let's take a measurement here. So full length, you're looking at just over 16 inches with the battery. So the battery sticks out a little bit there. So right at 16 inches. Now, as far as the size of the head, you're looking at width across the head, a little over 1.5 inches, so 1.58 inches. And then as far as depth goes, with the anvil and the directional lever, you're looking at 1.8 inches. And then as far as just the width of the depth of the head, a little over 1 inch, so about 1.1 inches on that. As far as across the body here, size on that is right at 2.27 inches. So 2.25 inches across the width of the body. Now let's take a weight on this as well. So with the battery, of course, 3.95, so 3 pounds, 9.5 ounces. So a little over 3.5 pounds with the battery and the tool. So not a heavy tool whatsoever. They call this their power jump charger, and basically you can put a battery on charge and it be completely dead, and it will actually jump that battery from 0 to 25% within 5 minutes on this 2 amp hour battery. So in 5 minutes, it'll give you kind of that 25% charge so that you can finish a job or whatever you need to do. And it will completely charge this battery in just 30 minutes. So after that first 5 minutes of it really throwing at it and hammering the charge on this, it's going to slow that down, make sure it keeps it cool and everything else to have a safe battery charge. Now let's take this over to the test bench and let's see if we can actually get 55 foot-pounds of force out of it, as well as test some other things. Okay, here's what we're going to do first. Now this is supposed to have up to 55 foot-pounds of force from the brushless motor itself, from the ratchet. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our torque wrench and we're going to torque some of these down, and now we're going to start at 15 foot-pounds on this column here. So we'll go down 15 foot-pounds, make sure then that first one, there you go, 15 on that. So we're going to go 15 foot-pounds, now 25 foot-pounds, and now 35 foot-pounds. And then we'll go to 50 foot-pounds. So we've got our SKIL ratchet, we've got it in reverse, and this is not an impact wrench, so I don't need an impact rated socket. So we're going to start here at our 15 foot-pounds, and here we go. No problem there, no problem there. So breaking free, 15 foot-pounds, not a problem at all. Now we're at 25 foot-pounds. So, okay, so starting from a dead start, it will not break that 25 foot-pounds. Well, it did it after a few there, and after a few there. So after a few hits, it will do it. Let's try it, 35 foot-pounds. Nothing there. Now, people have said all the time when I review these cordless ratchets, said, well, get a run on it and stick it on there. I really don't like testing that way, but just for you guys, I'll show you. So yes, it will break that free. Let's see at 50 foot-pounds. So yes, it'll break those free as well. Now, I've said it before, I've said it many times when reviewing cordless battery-powered ratchets, I don't believe these are meant to be impact wrenches. They're not impact wrenches, just period. They're not. I believe they're nut running devices. So in other words, I really could care less about how much force they have to break something free. I want it to run a nut off. You've got a long, stud, you want to run the nut off. I want to be able to pull the trigger and it run that nut off for me. Now, a lot of people want to know how much torque they have, which again, they're claiming 55 foot-pounds. Did not surprise me one bit that it wouldn't break free from a dead start, that 35 foot-pounds. None of the cordless impact wrenches or none of the cordless ratchets have done so yet. So I'm not surprised with that. Now, with a run on it, could I break that 50 foot-pounds free? Yes, I absolutely could. So then basically you ask yourself, well, how about when you've got a like a lock nut or a nylock nut, where it's actually, you know, a lock nut that's going to give you force all the way off. Is it going to be able to do that and run that off? And that is a great question, so let's check that out. So these 3 fasteners down here on the end are all nylocks. Now there's one, I believe it's a 12 millimeter, 13 millimeter, and a 9/16 inch nut. So they progressively get bigger, and they're pretty long. They're not extremely long, but we'll start with the 12 millimeter, and we'll see if it can run that nylock fastener all the way off. Not a problem at all. Go to the next one. Not a problem there either. And then finally the 9/16, and the longest one of them. And not a problem there either. Now, here's the thing I really want to test. Is one thing SKIL claims is they're saying, hey, even though we only have 55 foot-pounds of force, we will rate this up to 150 foot-pounds of manual force. We're going to test that out right now. Okay, for our final test, what we're going to do is we're going to test and see if we can actually put 150 foot-pounds of manual force on the SKIL 12-volt ratchet. So first, we're going to actually use the battery power to tighten this down as far as it goes, and then we're going to add that leverage of 150 foot-pounds of manual force. If I can get 150 foot-pounds of manual force on it, I think I should be able to. So here we go. So we're in tighten mode. Yep, we're in tighten. And first thing we're going to do is clear this out, and then we're going to pull the trigger. So 25 foot-pounds, and then we're going to manually 154 foot-pounds, and it still works. Let's do another one. In fact, let me back this off here, and then we'll get a run at it. So let's clear this. So we've got it cleared. Here we go. So 30 foot-pounds, and then let's go ahead and crank that down. $153 foot-pounds. Still works. So let's do it one more time just for good measure. We'll clear that out again. And here we go. So 34 foot-pounds, that's staying pretty accurate. I think it was 30 something the first one, then 33, now 34 and a half. Now let's give that manual force. $156 foot-pounds. And still works. So definitely we can put 150 foot-pounds of force without breaking anything. SKIL claims it, so they should have no problem warranting that with their 5-year warranty. Okay, here's the ins and outs on the SKIL 12-volt ratchet. Number one, SKIL knows what they're doing when it comes to tools. I've mentioned this before in some of our SKIL reviews. If you haven't seen the new SKIL tools, then you need to take a look at them. The SKIL of way old, you know, back when maybe our fathers and grandfathers were using SKIL saws, those were really good stuff. And then over time, different companies kind of took hold of SKIL and changed the whole dynamics of the company, and that went pretty much downhill. Well, the company that now owns SKIL has revived that brand, so make sure you check them out. Lots of brushless tools, and they understand battery technology as well as brushless technology. Their chargers and their batteries are top of the industry, so they're as good as it gets as far as knowing how to charge these things fast and knowing how to keep them safe while doing it. A couple of the cool things on this is on the charger and the battery, you get a USB port so you can charge your smartphone. Charge any of the devices you need to charge right there from the battery and or from the charger also. Also, as we mentioned, this is a power jump charger, meaning it will take this battery from 0 to 25% in just 5 minutes. It'll completely charge it in 30 minutes on this 2 amp hour 12-volt battery. Now, as far as the head of this tool, it is not small. So it's by no means slim on this. So if you're looking for something that's really slim in a cordless ratchet, this is probably not going to do it. However, you're looking at $130 all in for this tool. So for the 12-volt ratchet, the 12-volt 2-amp-hour battery, and the charger, just one battery, by the way, I've got two sitting here, but one battery, the tool, and the charger, $130, and you get a 5-year warranty. So if you're that ultra professional that wants something that's going to go with your battery platform and you don't already have the SKIL platform and you want a slim head and you want a really fast ratchet, this is probably not for you. However, if you're looking for that value, $130 all in, it's still a great tool. The fact that you can add that force of 150 foot-pounds does very well with that. We were very surprised when we were able to actually put 150 foot-pounds of manual force on this and it still worked. There were no cracks, there were no creaks, there were no problems when we were doing that. It did it very easily, or at least other than the 150 foot-pounds we had to give to it. But as far as the tool, it took it like a champ. So if you're looking for that value, this is definitely a great tool. If you're looking for something that's the fastest, this is not the fastest out there. It's like 220 RPMs. Definitely runs the bolts in and out, on and off as you need it to. Does it have 55 foot-pounds of force? No, I don't think so. But again, as we mentioned, none of the cordless ratchets have done what they claimed anyway. I don't know how they're testing that, but regardless, in the tightening, I think we got 33, 35, 36 foot-pounds of force. And then backing those off, getting it running and sticking it on, which everybody's asked me to do that. This is the first time we've ever done it, but as you can see, it definitely broke free 50 foot-pounds by doing that. I don't recommend that as a way to take loose fasteners. I think it's more important that I can actually input the force, break it free, then pull the trigger and go. Hey, check this out. You can get it at Lowe's. Again, $130 all in. It's the RW5763A or the PWRCORE 12-volt brushless ratchet from SKIL. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button, but only if you liked our video. If you hated our video, as always, give us that thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.